You know how it feels when you're trying to explain the nature of the red color to someone who was born as a blind? It feels impossible, or depressed, or sad. Or if someone is looking at you while you're trying to do so, he would say, "Hey, are you kidding? You can't be serious." I feel the same when my grandfather died. His death was really shocking. Even he was completely dependent in the last 5 years of his life, and once he's going to sleep, we start thinking that he's not going to wake up in the morning. But it was really shocking. I mean, no way. I was in the high school 2 years ago, and I didn't get the average I wanted in the School of Medicine, as I always want, and as always he wanted me to be as a physician. But now I study nursing, and I love it so much, and I'm giving it my all in college, and I'm making every possible effort to prove that I can be what he wanted me to be through what I have. I live my life on the basis of becoming an experienced nurse who works to make a difference. He was my inspiration. Since I was a little kid, I used to be his right arm, sometimes his two arms, and he counted on me in a lot of things. And I was only 8. I remember one day, he gave me 20 JD and asked me to buy a lighter. And I said, wow, 20 JD for a lighter? Okay. We used to have handwritten coins rather than papers. So he said, never bring me coins because he hated the noise they make in his pocket. I said, okay. I bought it, the lighter, and I got about 17 JD in coins. And I said, wow, what am I going to be doing with those things? And come on, guys, he's my grandfather. He will kill me if I give him like those things. So I started changing those coins into papers. And it took me the whole day. And we were in the middle of the summer. And it was extremely hot. And once I get home, I was totally exhausted. And he started yelling at me and saying, "You're stupid. You spent the whole day. Where have you been?" And I start crying. And the other day, I went to the hospital. I lived with him in Baka refugee camp. Words are not enough to describe what a great man he was. I always tried to be like him, but I was just like this little kid, this 8-year-old boy. Doesn't he deserve a first chance? And you're gonna ask me, hey, come on, man. It is called the second chance. Because we all think that we all have the first chance. We always use this phrase, the second chance, if you fail an exam, or if you miss an appointment, or if you fail in doing something, so you ask for a second chance. But what if I don't have this first chance? Could you explain how this 8-year-old boy have it? Could you use whatever you want? Use math, use physics, use statics, anatomy, physiology, any science, any language, any dictionary, constitution, agreement, website, use whatever you want. Or just we always best at saying and holding those slogans of democracy, the power of the communities, the voices of the people, human rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 1, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, and they should act towards one another in the spirit of brotherhood. Then you go to Article 2 and 3 and 4 and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Personally, I do respect the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I really do. But dear Mr. Declaration, I'm sorry to tell you, and I feel ashamed to tell you, that a lot of places and a lot of people never hear about you. Could you just come to those places and tell those people what's going on? Help! Come on, guys, what's going on? Okay. let us just reconsider what everybody consider as, come on man, you already have it. Can you go to the first slide, please? I might not be able to go to everybody's life and change it, but at least I can change mine. 9 years ago, I was in the 5th grade when I started to learn the ABC. Since then, I knew that I want to change, and I want to make a change. And I loved English. So I just started to learn and study more and more. Sometimes just open the dictionary and start reading. Other times watching DVDs when the English translation, once and twice and 3 times and 10 times, till I memorized the whole movie, with the other hand holding my dictionary. 10 years in the UNRWA schools and the camp. UNRWA stands for United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees. 10 years in the UNRWA schools and the camp, with 50 students in each class, sometimes 55, other times almost 60 students in each class. And the same building, just the same building is used for 2 shifts to have a capacity for more students because of the huge number of students in the camps. So if you were in the first shift this month, so on the other shift, in the other month, you're gonna be in the second shift. All these circumstances made me wanna change. And what I love most about this, that when others just look at me and say, hey, come on, he's not better than us. We can be much better than him. And now they are. They are much, much better than me. Just change yourself, just to start the change with yourself, and believe me, everybody will change himself against himself. As I said, I always wanted to be like my grandfather. He used to have a variety of solutions for a single problem. If I want to call him something, I would call him Gogo. Last year, I was selected to participate in the South American Business Forum in Argentina. It was the 6th edition, and I was the first Arabic participant in such event in Argentina. I worked hard till I was selected. Then I got that email, congratulations, you were selected to be in the South American Business Forum. And it was, wow, I'm going to Argentina, yeah. But the problem, here comes the problems. The problem is that the ticket and the visa are not covered. And due to my financial situation, it is impossible to be in such an event. So I said, well, my university would help me, but it didn't. Well, I started emailing like companies, banks, institutions, organizations asking for their help. 13 interviews, 13 different people, and they just didn't help. Either your research is not included into our program, or, hey, you are a nurse, go and learn how to measure the blood pressure. Or you're a camp son. What is your relationship with civil participation and community's improvement? Or simply, no. I didn't stop, and I strongly wanted to go. It was like you're sitting in the middle of a dark room, and it's all locked. Till I got that phone number, and I made that call, and she said, yeah, we will help you. I was looking on the phone. I was looking in the phone after I hang up, and I start talking to my phone. Are you sure? Then we had a meet, and I went to Argentina. And I'll take this chance to say thank you for Maha Darwish, and she's going to be a speaker here with us today. And thank you, Ibda, and thanks for everybody who works in Ibda. Really, my warm and deep and super, super thanks. Come on. Can you go to be unique? Okay. One day, I was sitting with a friend of mine in the college. Her name is Sandy. When another friend of mine came by and said, "Hello," I said, "Hey." Well, Sandy asked me, "Hey, Hamza, how do you know him?" I said, "Well, we lived together in the camp and we're friends since we were kids." She was like, "Wow, are you sure?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, he told me that he lives in Abdun and he was born in America." I was shocked. Well, I felt myself like a tomato or something. When I get home, I start thinking, why you feel ashamed from yourself, from where you are, from where you live? Hey, come on. I will never hide who I am or where I am from, for I am not ashamed. And I'm going to say it loudly. I am from the camp. My professors and doctors were shocked when they knew that I am from the camp. Being a refugee never makes us unique. My grandfather once told me, "Your gun is your certificate." This is how we're going to hold our Palestinian issue. This is how we're going to be unique. Using our minds, with our hands, with our pens and papers, and most important, our certificates and our identity. As the human nature tells us, we have to look for belonging. So I belong to Jordan, I belong to Amman, Palestine, Jerusalem, Cairo, Damascus, and I'm proud of being an Arabic camp son. You know how it feels when a lot of problems emerge in front of you at once? It keeps happening to me all the time, like problems. Try to hide from the problems. One day it did, and I couldn't act like there's nothing happening. A friend of mine called me and he noticed that, wow, there's something wrong. He said, "Hey Hamza, the less I have, the more I achieve, the more I produce." And I'm standing here now, and I'm thinking about this. And only one thing emerged in front of my, that I've got nothing. Remember that little 8-year-old boy who lived with his grandfather? But I achieved something, and I still, regardless of the living and difficult living conditions in the camp, including the shortage and poverty of playing gardens and courts, the unhealthy environment, the limited houses, the bad economic situation, the inability for the children's families to buy dolls and puppets for them, and sometimes food and clothing. Then I look around and I see doctors, and I see engineers, nurses, scientists, teachers, and they all carry the name of a refugee who once lived in a camp. I mean, look at me. I have this mobile phone. It has no colors, no camera, and I can make an international phone call. And I can send an SMS in English, or in Arabic, or in French if you want. The less I have, the more I achieve. I love this principle. Our life, because I'm studying nursing, our life is like the respiratory system. If you treat it in a good manner and give it oxygen, it will respond negatively and give you carbon dioxide. 4 years ago, I participated in an exchange program to the United States. A journalist asked me, "Hey Hamza, if Martin Luther King is Jordanian, what will he fight for?" I said, "Well, you have a good imagination, but I have a better one. What if Martin Luther King is a Palestinian refugee living in Bekaa refugee camp with his grandfather?" Then she laughed. I said, "Yeah, he once said, 'I have a dream.' I'm sure that he will carry on his dream." And today, while I'm standing on this circle, I will say in the middle, I have a dream. And I'm sure that one day it will come true. I'm sure that one day in every Palestinian refugee camp, starting with my camp, then in every camp in Jordan, then in Syria, then in Lebanon, I will open a window for the whole world to watch and learn what a refugee is capable to do. I will open this window, it's going to be like a center, and I'll call it refugee.com. Refugee.com, we will play, we will cry, we will laugh, we will learn, study, enjoy, and every possible verb you could find in a dictionary. Refugee.com will be the place for children to play. Refugee.com will be the place for students to study, for the refugee to express himself. Refugee.com will be the key for a lot of locked doors. Refugee.com will be the center that collects all the refugees who are living in this camp and just send messages to the whole world that we are still alive. We will sing. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Another one? Okay. Now you might thinking about me like you're just sitting until like looking at me and say, he's a wow. Please don't. Please don't. Because remember, I'm just that little kid. There are a lot of wows. Wows. And you can say it loudly if you want. Wow. In this camp. I'm not Superman or Batman or Spider-Man, as somebody was talking. And I'm not going to be alone, and I'm going to ask for help. And the help of everybody is welcome. Let's say that nobody would help, or he wants to help, but he can't right now. I will always remember this flower. And those 8 words, including the 3 dots, hope might disappear, but it will never, ever die. And I'm sure that one day, I will wake up, even after 20 years, and I see that, oh, my dream came true. Refugee.com is here. Today, from here, using this mic, standing on this stage, from the lowest point on earth, from the Dead Sea, I tell the whole world that a refugee is capable to dream. A refugee is able to achieve. A refugee is able to create. A refugee is able to taste the success. And I thought that sharing my dream and telling you my message is an idea worth spreading. Thank you.